Storage?
Cold Storage is a bit of a throwback film, actually. It reminded me of something I would have seen straight to video 40 years ago. But for all that, it was fun. It was a bit of a romp. But if the story is when Skylab, the circling sort of space station,
Oh yeah.
it crashed to Earth in 1979. But that what we didn't know, it had a little passenger on board, and that passenger was in the form of a deadly fungus
Mm.
that infects people and does really nasty things. And this Skylab thing with the passenger landed in Australia in the outback, and the locals thought, oh, we can make some traction out of this. So they brought it into their town and created a Skylab museum where people could come and see this thing. And then one night, all unpleasant things started to happen, and pleasantness was abounding. And so a team of crack experts who deal with sort of like unusual activities and things went in there and secured this object and sealed it in a secure NASA facility. Fast forward 18 years, that NASA facility has been downgraded and has been converted into cold storage, into a storage facility, where the lower sort of four floors have been sealed off, and the entrance to this facility has been sealed off. But the top two floors, as far as the whole world is aware, is just a normal storage area where people have their little lockups to keep their stuff.
Yeah.
The two people who work as late night security. There's a young man and woman. They're both working minimum wage jobs. He's an ex-con. She's a single mum paying her way through college. They can hear this alarm going off, and they keep hearing this beep, and so they go to investigate. And when you investigate a beep going off into a sort of formerly secret government bunker, good things don't become of that. So chaos ensues, and then Liam Neeson and Leslie Manville turn up to save the day. They're the ones who actually saved the day in 1979, and now they've been brought back out of retirement to see if they can sort out this mess again. And a mess it is. So, plot-wise, you don't need to know a lot more about that, but this sort of green fungus does unpleasant things to people. But I thought it was a bit of a romp, actually.
I think it's the second I saw Liam Neeson as third build on this, I thought this could be good. I don't know why, but there was something about the fact that Liam Neeson took his time to be in this film and not be the head of it. I was like, this could be good.
There's a twist about, because we know him from his Taken days and all this. There was a little bit of twist. They've actually played on that image really quite well in this, so I thought that was quite funny. But yeah, there were some funny moments, and what I liked about it is actually I thought there were loads of nods to cinema of like that in my sort of days of video nasties. I think there was a clear moment that related to World War. I call it World War Z because
Yes.
I'm not going to say Z.
Yes.
It's a silly way of saying a letter of the alphabet. So for me, it's World War Z. That's it. So there was a nod in there. One of the characters suddenly starts doing that teeth thing, and then sniffing around. So to me, that was straight out of there. There was a scene that I thought was straight out of Dawn of the Dead, where you see some bikers turn up, and some of the way their look was a bit. I thought, yeah, this reminds me of George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. And there's another nod because of the bunker situation to Day of the Dead. And so to me, I thought they were aware of it because one of the characters saying like, well, this is just like zombie stuff, not using stuff as their expression, but this is just like zombies. And they're like saying, there's no such thing as zombies. And then they sort of do a scene that was almost like lifted straight from a classic zombie film. And so I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a bit of a laugh, a bit of a romp. And yeah, it delivered what it was supposed to do, sort of an hour and a half of just craziness. So yeah, I liked it. What can I say?
Oh, good. Oh, sorry about that. I had family, family asking me questions and everything like that, but it's okay now. There's another parent. So yeah, so you like? Okay, cool. That I'm really happy to hear that because this was high on my list of things to see. I think this was probably the number one thing, and also because now when I look at films in the cinema, I do look at the running time and I do think, can I be? And this is it was advertised as an hour and 39 minutes. So I was like, oh Yes.
It was just right. And there was one scene that really made me laugh out loud. It was only just one throwaway line, but one of the infected people sort of stumbles out and they're like all puffy, they're covered in this green slime and they're doing unpredictable things. And one of the people says, "Look, he's got COVID-19." Just thinking, well, it just made me laugh. And then, well, it's not a spoiler, but then he exploded. It was just, yeah, it was a nod to our recent past.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought they did all of their cast actually did their role well. I thought even the sort of mad cat and the deer and the other cast of characters. There's a very sort of intrepid cockroach, I think it is. But then I enjoyed the cast, sort of large and small, and yeah, I thought it was lots of nods to things I liked. So yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
All right. So, how many stars would we give Cold Storage?
I would give it a good 3.5, maybe 3.75. I thought it was, yeah, I thought just enjoyable film that you hope. I haven't seen a film sort of just honestly, just entertaining, without pretending to be anything that it wasn't for a while. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
yeah, 3.5. It knew what it was and it did it.
Okay, and I'm going to ask the next question, but I feel like the answer to this is pretty clear. Watch it in cinemas. Would you watch this in cinemas, or would you wait for it to come out on streaming?
You could watch it in both, but I quite like the immersive quality of seeing it in the cinema because then you can fully appreciate all the splatter.
Yeah, and I think, and if you get a crowd, I feel like when you get a crowd, a fun movie with a crowd, there's few
Yeah.
things that beat that. All right, cool. So that's it for Cold Storage 3.75 for Cold Storage. I really, really hope it's still in cinemas next week and I get to watch it before it disappears.